Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. Hey, I got it right this time. I got it wrong last night. I didn't. I need to start drinking earlier in the day. Wait, this.
Why? What did you call it last night?
I was like, welcome to Tavern Chat, and I was like, oh no, it's the random party generator.
Oh.
In any case, I'm Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and with me, as always, on Saturday nights is none other than my lovely wife Rachel,
Hello.
because this is Gamers Health. And we have a lot of things to talk about, and not the least of which is going to include. Well, actually, it looks pretty good on the screen.
Yeah, it does. It looks the color is punchy on camera. That's
These,
good.
yeah. These are homemade pickles, by the way, and I have another 2 quart jars full of them. But in the meantime, Elle, listen, you and your damn chili dogs. I'm not going to take them from your cold, dead hands. Don't worry about that. And garlic chicken sounds good, Don. I gotta
Mm.
say. So, before we delve into the foodie aspect, um, it's been a moderately stressful week here at the Ten-Car household. Uh, last Sunday, my plantar fasciitis. I hate that name. Sounds sounds like it'd be something really important, but it is when you can't walk.
It's very important. You realize that when you have a flare.
it,
You're like, oh shit, ouch.
we were walking over to my friend John's house. John is, I call it home hospice because he's not going to be leaving home. But, and we visit John. We try to visit John about once every week and a half. And we're walking over, and it's, I don't know, it's about just over a quarter mile. And I'm walking on to Rachel, going, hey, my heel feels pretty good, but I can kind of feel it in my arch, but it doesn't feel bad. And then we got literally half a block from John's, and I I yelped in pain because, and I started hobbling because it really felt like somebody shot me in my heel. Not a good feeling. So I was I was so hobbled that John's wife offered to drive us home.
Well, and then you're such a man. Like, I'm
That's a
going.
bad thing,
We
by the way,
go to
folks.
we get to the corner. I'm like, oh, come up against this fence, and stretch it out. Hang out the fence, for your stability, and stretch out your foot so that this way you can have some relief.
Right?
He's like, I'm not gonna grab somebody else's fence.
I hate it when people do that to my property. I'm not going to do it to somebody else's property. I would have done it when
I
we got to
don't mind
John.
they do that to my property as long as it's like, okay, you have a good reason.
I hobbled the half a block to John's house, and then
They had a good reason. They would have forgiven you.
yeah, I know. I listen. It so it's been an issue on and off since then. It was feeling better, and then it wasn't feeling better. But then we had excitement on Monday because now Monday, we had we had some rain last night, and the backyard drain is backed up. Oh boy, so backed up that it looks like stuff in the pipe pushed off the cast iron drain.
Yeah, that
Uh,
fucker is heavy.
yeah, like the drain catcher filter, whatever you want to call it, cap. And I'm like, this pa- this is a lot of paper to be like down the sewer from like July 4th. This is gonna look like toilet paper, but I'll just pour some Drano and pray for the best because that's what men do. We pour Drano and pray for the best. And then we went out and took our knees down for lunch and shopping, and then came back, and I was like, oh look, it's all gone. And then we flushed the toilet, and look, it's all back. So needless to say, I spent 3 hours on my feet with the plumber who came late at night and stayed late into the early morning hours to clear out roots in the two drainage systems, the one under the house and the one leading out of the house. So that was a lot of fun. And then the next day, my plantar fasciitis flared up again. And I was surprised on Monday how good it was feeling with all that walking and standing I was doing. So, plantar fasciitis has been something that I've been dealing with this week. Currently, I'm actually wearing shoes, which I don't normally do in the house, but these shoes are kind of plantar fasciitis shoes.
Yeah. So when you have plantar fasciitis, you have to um, really, especially when you're having a flare, um, and for most of the time after, just to be kind to your feet, you want to get shoes that have like a high arch, or not a high arch, but like
High arch and very pitted heel.
yeah, like even Birkenstocks are fine too because there's like a heel cup and there's arch support. The main thing is that you have arch support, and then like you want a structured shoe, um, so that this way your foot doesn't move around too much in it,
Right.
and so that but also soft enough like to be able to absorb some of the impact from your heel strikes. He and me, we tend to strike harder with our heels, so
Yeah, I don't walk with the balls of my feet.
so the impact comes like right up into the knees. Where like I've been trying to work on walking not just with my not on my tippy toes because that's not going to help either, but like to be more gentle with the heel strikes and
Yeah.
have them roll forward. So I've been working on that for a few months because
Flare
I
up.
experienced it for the first time several months ago when I was like sort of like doing a little too much too soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on the treadmill. So I started to research a lot about it and really check into it. So it was nice when Erik started to have his
Oh, yeah.
that
Right
we
before
were
North
all
Texas.
ready. We were all ready to have the stuff that we needed on hand, like the
Yes.
proper
Oh,
ice packs
oh
and
my God.
night
Yeah.
splints. And,
Yeah. It was.
yeah.
I could have done without having it in the first place, but that now that I have it, I'm glad that we were prepped for it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. But again, wearing the shoes in the house. I also have a sock that has a like a gel pad in the heel. Helps. Not gonna do a show and tell and rip it off my feet, but just telling you, the stuff is out there, Amazon
Yeah,
or
there's a lot that can
yeah.
help.
But
I mean, but you do, when you have plantar fasciitis, like you definitely do have to spend a little bit more on your footwear.
yeah, it's gonna
than,
go. I'm gonna go to I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say Kmart, Walmart, and get the bargain shoes. No, you're not gonna. It's not gonna.
No.
Not even Kohl's. Sorry, you gotta.
I mean, if you went to Kohl's and got like whatever sneaker or shoe, you would have to still get the inserts.
Yeah.
But I tend to like to order the shoes to have everything and it's
I want
for
everything.
you and
I want it
ready to go.
I want it all done. So the plantar fasciitis has been an ongoing thing, but because my body is under stress and I'm off the Mounjaro, it means my blood sugar has been up. My baseline, which used to be a baseline on Mounjaro around 90 or 100, my new baseline is like around 115 to 125. If it goes below that, I'm very surprised. And because I have a higher baseline, it means that I have a higher peak when I'm actually peaking. So that has meant that me especially, but you don't do this on your own. You don't die.
No.
If you are part of a couple,
You don't change lifestyle by
Right.
yourself.
You don't just go.
One doesn't. Oh, you do you, girl. You do you, man.
I'm
it
gonna
doesn't work like
I'm gonna
that.
pig out and I'm gonna eat. And you can. I'm gonna have ice cream, but you can have. I don't know that no fat yogurt with no sweetener. Just have that as I have my ice cream. Doesn't work. You gotta be on the same page. If
And none of us need that shit,
no,
like
well, we like
we
it.
all have our problem, we all, have our sensitivities and things that we
Yeah.
need to watch out for
So
in our diets. So
so one of the things that I did is, and I had done this when I was like, oh, the weather's crappy and I don't really feel like walking and shopping. But look, Uber Eats has me with a 50% off coupon at the grocery. So I ordered. We have cucumbers coming in. I'm going to show you a picture later of a salad that we made, and
mhm.
except for the cheese, all those veggies that were
Everything was homegrown.
homegrown, amazing. It's a beautiful thing when you can do that. But I got cucumbers from Target, and they weren't bad. They were actually pretty nice. I sat in them for a few days, which probably if I'd done it right away, I wouldn't have had to throw out about 1 out of 6 cucumbers just by cutting pieces off. So in any case, this is fresh.
Careful.
I didn't put much juice in here, Rach.
Okay.
I'm
I
am I am stupid. I am not quite as stupid as sometimes people think. But now I've made homemade pickles before. These are what they call refrigerator pickles. So they are not canned. I was involved in canning stuff when I was much younger, when my mother used to do a lot of canning. She used to can tomato sauce, blackberry jam, pickles. Um, Now, making homemade pickles is a lot simpler than I ever dreamed of. First time I did this was 2 years ago. And what I did is I did a little research and I said, well, I need pickling spice. Well, guess what? Amazon sells a
What
huge
is
thing
that?
of
Just a
pickling.
bunch of dill?
No, actually, it's a lot of it's
I was trying to place what the
it's
flavor was when I got
it's
one.
mustard kernels and it's pepper kernels
Oh.
and it's bay leaves and a bunch of other stuff. There's some dill in there.
Okay.
So these basically, essentially, what happens is, and you don't even have to heat anything. I use the pot just so I can have everything set down, and the ratio is approximately 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Now, the vinegar you use obviously has a huge part on it. If you want to have more plain vinegar, which is what I did, I went with white wine vinegar.
Is it white wine or just white vinegar?
It's white vinegar. I think it's actually white wine vinegar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, you can use apple cider vinegar if you want sweeter pickles. I was almost tempted to add a little balsamic just to pull out a little bit more flavor, but and in addition to the seasoning mix that is for pickling, I put in powdered onion and powdered garlic, and they are very nice. Now, and they're crispy. Sometimes I actually slice up some onions and put them in. I didn't this time.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I didn't. I was going to, but I didn't.
Hmm.
And it take about at least 12 hours to really pickle a bit. RPG Grandma did a video recently on refrigerated pickles. I did not know that.
Cool.
I'm gonna
I
have to
look
check.
for it.
You can use any kind of vinegar, but the kind of vinegar that you use will change the flavor of the pickles. If you want a more traditional, what I consider to be a half sour pickle, like when you get those refrigerated fresh pickles in your deli section, if you have them.
Oh, I thought Pickle Me Pete guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a fair or a street fair or like flea market.
Yeah, Don's like try fresh onion and fresh garlic. Well, now.
Oh yeah, pickles often do have a lot of garlic.
Yes. So, actually, we had lost our garlic press. I just picked one up the other week. We do have fresh garlic. I did use the fresh garlic in our
the noodles
in our stir fry. I don't believe I took a picture of it, but
I went on the pizza.
I went on the pizza. Oh, by the way, last week we showed a picture of a pizza that we made, homemade pizza. It was so impressive that the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum social media had to snag the picture off the screen and run with it and ask people, what kind of a pizza do you think this is? I guess
there's just so much going on at Dungeon Hobby Shop that,
Oh, Mike and Christy are both listening. We got a twofer.
All right.
Rough chop it. Actually, the larger the pieces, the better. When it came to
Oh.
the actual cucumbers, I was like, you know what? I like my spears. I'm traditionally, I like pickle spears. But if you really want to make this as a nashi treat to replace things like chips, pickles, cucumbers themselves have virtually no calories. It's mostly water. So um, this is a great diet hack. And if you don't like, I don't like cucumbers plain usually. Although with dressing, I can have them in my salad. But you pickle them, and again, 12 hours. These have been aged about 2 days now. Uh, I did 2.5 quarts. This is what's left of the half quart. I'll bring some to my sister
Mhm.
either tomorrow or Monday.
She'll be
Where
happy.
yeah,
She loves it.
well, Shannon loves it. I told Shannon that we have these pickles, and
Oh,
we'll
really?
send her home with some. She goes, if there's any left.
Mhm.
So uh,
Mhm.
Don, Eric, I mean, come on. Do you expect Dunn Hobby Shop to actually post anything about TSR or D&D? No, no. But they were like, oh my god.
So I was like, there must be so much going on over there.
Yeah, they were. I think they were so surprised to see a pizza that wasn't from Domino's.
They're just looking for anything to fill their thing, whatever.
And that pizza was nice. We had fresh tomatoes from the garden on it. I sliced them. So, you're chef in the OSR. Thank you, Matt.
Oh yeah, but check this out. Bring the pictures of the
Oh.
beautiful salad
All right. So
and the beautiful vegetables we grew.
okay. So I got to pull something up on the screen. So here, first I'm gonna pull up.
They're natural. Oh, okay.
So this is Rach made the salad. Okay, this is the ingredients. The tomatoes are fresh from the garden, and that's why they aren't like these perfect round tomatoes. These are actual fresh tomatoes, homegrown, vine ripened. We had one small and one large cucumber. Now the small cucumber was already turning yellow. If you let them go yellow, what will happen?
They'll stop growing.
Yeah, they'll stop producing.
Yeah.
So
we're all learning.
yes, fresh basil again from the garden. Um, fresh green onion again from the garden. Fresh mozzarella, not from the garden, from Stop and Shop, your friendly neighborhood supermarket,
or whoever made it.
And then I made a fresh Italian dressing. And basically, what it is I guess 1 part olive oil to about 2 parts vinegar. Generally, what I do when it comes to vinegar is I will go with a base vinegar, like a white vinegar, for the majority of the vinegar, but then I'll put a couple of splashes of balsamic, pulls a little extra flavor without being overpowering. Some people don't like the balsamic. And Mike, I'm going to talk to you about hot dogs, so don't worry, we got you covered there too. So I made the dressing. Rach will tell you that when I make my Italian dressing, I don't measure anything out except for the oil and the vinegar.
Yeah, it's like okay, we'll just.
I go for
put
taste.
A dash of this, a little of that.
Yeah, I've got different. I've got my huge spice collection,
and it always comes out great.
I was tempted to put fresh garlic in it, but I figured that we still have the garlic powder that we got from Glenn's wife. Blue Rooster.
Oh, yes.
Amazing, potent stuff. It tastes fresh.
And the onion there, too.
But yeah.
The onion one, too.
Bad Mike, we just had a hot dog and taco. We were hungry for something ugly tonight. All right, so Mike, Hero Bread is an online bakery company that does low-carb bread options. They have low-carb hot dog buns. Now, low-carb hot dog buns from Hero Bread combined with, is it low-fat or fat-free Oscar Mayer wieners, which are only 45 calories a wiener. Had them tonight. And sorbet, Sabre, sauerkraut. And I think it was also Sabre
mustard.
Mm-hmm. And you can have a low carb, relatively low calorie meal that feels like a cheat meal, which is what we had for lunch. Now, what we had for dinner, I will now present the other picture
Mm-hmm.
because what we had for dinner, this was our salad. This was the salad after we let it marinate overnight. Those are the fresh cucumbers in there, fresh basil. Now I almost put onion in here, but then I figured if I put onion in, it isn't all fresh from the garden when it comes to the vegetables. So I was like, I want to have this one be
Well,
all
then you
homegrown.
also have the spring onion in there, so
Yeah,
there was
the
still
spring,
that.
the spring onion, and it's a nice, colorful dish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we had. We had that for dinner last night. We had that for dinner tonight.
And I have to say, it's been so much fun to have a garden and make stuff with it.
Yeah,
Like to have like the cucumbers coming from when we planted it, and the tomatoes. Like I crouched down in the dirt and dug, stuck my hands, got dirt under my nails, so that we can have those tomatoes and cucumbers, and it's
and
just so
peppers
amazing. Oh yeah, and the peppers are coming.
and the green onions.
Mm-hmm.
We have broccoli that's spent out already. We've got
There's Swiss chard that your mom planted.
yeah, we got squash coming.
Yes.
Zucchini and yellow squash. So I mean, but you don't have to have a garden to eat healthy. What you do need is a little time. All right, listen. I know it's a lot easier to
Order.
yeah, grab your phone and go on Uber Eats and
Yeah.
go. Hey, and now we've experimented with Uber Eats to try to eat healthy, and surprisingly enough, there are options to eat healthy.
We found the wholesome bowl from
Not cheap, by the way. It's
yeah.
$18, so our 40% coupon went far.
Yeah, it's like ordering from those salad places in the city, like
Yes.
the Just Salad or the Green and Co. and Sweet Green, But this was from Chipotle, and I was like, it's so watery from Chipotle, like
The burritos and the tacos are like
yeah, let me not mess with it. And then so here's we were watching the videos with the Bobby, the
Bobby Flav.
Flav, yeah.
Yeah, he does he's keto-ish, but he's pretty much
He's really good at
unadulterated
directing diabetes
right
people with diabetes on how to eat. So,
but also eating stuff that doesn't have a lot of additives, that doesn't have a lot of seed oils. Seed oils are
like it's eating like in an anti-inflammatory way. Yeah. So, he was recommending places like Subway.
Which
he would recommend
tried
certain things on that menu.
I
did. I was like, I have to try the flatbread that he recommends.
I had the Subway.
I
did the Subway salad. I was impressed.
Yeah.
And I usually
flatbread was great.
Now, so then I was like, all right, let's do the Chipotle, and the Chipotle salad, and we did it without rice. So there was no rice in it, so no extra carbs. There was chicken, there was guac, there were beans, there were
that guac made it.
Oh, there were fajita,
and the chicken was really
fajita vegetables.
Yeah,
it was good. It was filling. It wasn't cheap.
So it's a treat for us.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that was a lot of times you just don't feel like prepping and cooking.
Mm-hmm.
We do factor 75 for 3 of our meals a week, where I get stuff that is carb conscious, Rach gets stuff that is calorie conscious, but it is stuff that for about $9 a meal, you're eating what in New York City, if you went out to eat, this meal would be a $25 meal.
Mm.
It's not frozen unless we can't finish it in the week period of time that we have, in which case we freeze it. But it's not frozen. The chicken, different various chicken dinners are amazingly delicious. I love the sun-dried tomato. But they use hacks, right? They use cauliflower rice instead of using white rice for the keto stuff.
And it's always brown rice anyway that they use
for the other dishes.
Yeah.
They use it's like zoodles, like zucchini noodles.
Yes. They use
Um,
a lot of zucchini, come to think of it.
yeah, but it's a lot of it's good serving sizes. I'm not looking for more food when I
No,
finish. There are times
never.
when I can't finish it, which is spot on. But you have to make adjustments to uh like I have to make adjustments. I know before we were doing breakfasts weren't bad. I think they were very good, but they weren't horrible when it came to health. I was generally for us for breakfast. It's one egg and a serving of egg whites scrambled with what do you call it, non-stick pan. We use our favorite pan is what, the granite, not the granite. No,
No, it's
I forget the name of it, man. It allows you to use
oh,
metal utensils if you wanted
I
to.
can't remember. Hexclad?
Hexclad. There you go.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. So what I do for breakfast is I scramble one egg and one egg white, and I toss it in the sprayed pan and let it cook. And generally, once the egg is it's a scrambled egg, but I'm not scrambling it. Then I'll flip it when it's mostly done, and then I will take out cheese from and before I would actually cut it in half, and I would take out some shredded cheese for both sides, fold it once, and then we would have a Jimmy Dean mini biscuit and sausage patty. We would both
And there
get
were
two of these.
minis.
They were minis. We both get two of these.
Yeah.
Delicious. Only problem is those are carbs that I can't have now, or I shouldn't be having because it spikes me. So now I still make with the same eggs, but now we've got
The carb quick so that
we
this
got the
way.
carb quick so we can make biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, again, from Hero Bread, we did tortillas.
Yes. They're great.
They are great.
They're not those weird texture or um, weird looking, eggy
right.
kind of stuff.
They're
It's
they're
really a
legit.
tortilla.
So I now just take that and I'll do two sausage links, uh, whatever they are, Jimmy Dean or one of the other brands.
Mm-hmm.
But they're always going to be turkey sausage. It's a leaner meat, usually less calories.
Yeah.
And it's a very low carb meal. I avoid these huge spikes. So I'm trying to get to the point where my body adjusts to not having the Manjaro, not being under stress. I have the plantar fasciitis. I've had some stomach issues. So I know that when my body is under stress, my blood sugar will rise. And my base blood sugar will rise.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted, it's going to take a bit. I wanted to bring that down. Now I can't exercise like we had been. We had a good stretch of about 4 or 5 days where we got out and took these nice long
walks in the park.
I'm hoping that I get back to that this
back
week.
on the treadmill.
Yeah, because the plantar fasciitis is something that we talked about it on Sunday too. It's like, oh wow, thank God this happened a half block from John. Imagine if you were in the middle of the park, and you had to walk.
Yeah, I think probably
mile.
The first step for Erik is maybe do Elmhurst and then go to
always near the car,
and
then back to Forest.
Back to Forest Park, the big loop,
the big brouhaha. Yeah.
So this way you can experience too that sometimes walking does help.
Oh,
I know it's like kind of contrary.
No, I know it does.
But like obviously in the first several days of when you're having a flare, you really just need to rest it and ice it and stuff.
Right.
But
we'll ice it after the show.
You got to get you can see that there's some relief that comes from walking.
Oh, and we forgot to mention the fact that I also had apparently poison ivy rash going on for the last 2 weeks. Just a small detail that it's finally healing up now, but right behind the knee. So it's an area that will always get sweat and bent and stretched. So there you go. So my body's been under stress, so I can understand why my blood sugar isn't where I would want it to be under the new circumstances, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
So, konjac noodles, if you are going to look for a pasta replacement, are awesome. Um, I like to play with rice cauliflower. I will not buy it on Amazon. Buying it on Amazon
It's
at
crazy
shelves.
expensive.
First off, I don't want to buy frozen uh, cauliflower. It takes up too much room in my freezer. When you can buy shelf stable, but it's like 4 pack, 6 packages, like $24. We were able to get them for $2 a package, half the price at our local discount place.
And sometimes they have big boxes of it. I didn't
They
see
do.
that today.
Yeah, I didn't see that today either.
Yeah.
So what I do with the cauliflower rice, and I love doing this, I just enjoy it so much, is I make my own fried rice. And we started doing that because at Costco we had found frozen cauliflower fried rice. And once I realized what it was, and what they were, how they were flavoring it, I was able to duplicate it. Oh, Mr. Guns in the room.
Yay.
Everybody be quiet. So what I do with the cauliflower rice is I like to add whatever vegetable I have in the house. If it's green peppers, I cut up peppers. You want that to stir in when the rice is essentially drying out a bit. You want to get that rice dry, and you want to get your other vegetables fairly dry. I'll 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 put in tomatoes though. I'll put in anything that I don't like using canned vegetables. I don't have them in the house, but people often do. But I also have a low sodium soy sauce. I bought this, oh my God, at least 2 years ago. I bought 2 bottles. I gave one to
Casey.
Casey, our son's fiance, um, and kept them for us. And a little of this low sodium soy sauce
Yeah, a little goes a long way.
goes a long way. It adds color, it adds flavor. Put a little garlic in. Obviously, you got to put some onion in, usually fresh.
And now we have ginger to squeeze into there too.
So, um, these when you use something like konjac noodles or you're using something like cauliflower rice, you have to flavor it. If I mean, cauliflower is the most boring vegetable there is, in my humble opinion. Taking on, you take cauliflower, and if you make your own cauliflower rice, God bless you. But if you take cauliflower and its actual taste, you're like, I thought I liked broccoli, but I really don't like cauliflower. But
It tastes very much similar to me.
yeah, now for me, broccoli has a better flavor.
It's a deeper flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, with the cauliflower, oh, again, or the konjac noodles. And by the way, the konjac noodles are a quick meal prep. If you get konjac noodles, you rinse them under running water, generally cold. I always run under cold water. You run them until that earthy scent is gone. You put them in a heated pan with nothing. You just put them there to dry out a bit, and then you add your stuff. If you want to make pasta and you want to make it like a tomato sauce, you pour in some tomato sauce, put in some sausage that maybe you've as pre-cooked or whatever you want to do. There's so many things that you can do with it. I make a lot of pasta primavera. I put a lot of vegetables into my tomato sauce.
Peppers.
Bo paints are the same plant. Well, one's green and one's white, and the flower, the coniferous part, the what looks like a brain looks more like a brain on the cauliflower than it does on the broccoli. I've grown broccoli.
Well, that's because it's like that white.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I see a cauliflower. I like cauliflower
Yeah, I feel like
rice.
they taste very similar
I like it
because they
right.
both have like a sulfuric
Yeah,
kind
well,
of base.
yeah. Also, if you're dry, like with the cauliflower rice, if you're heating it in a dry pan to dry out, when you get when you get that water out of the cauliflower rice, it loses a lot of that smell. Konjac noodles, also called miracle noodles, that's one of the brand
Yes.
names. Um, you can find them on Amazon. You can actually find them in your supermarket. You can find them in discount stores sometimes.
Thrive Market.
They
That's
are
another one that carries.
like 5 to 10 calories per package. They're packed in water.
Well, they basically are water because it's like roots.
I know, but
Yeah.
they're packed in water. Okay, and they come in as fettuccine. They'll come as angel hair. They can come as rice. They can come in different shapes. We had,
Linguine last time.
yeah, and we had one that had spinach put
Mhm.
into the noodles. So, um, konjac noodles, I will go with yes. They are a miracle noodle because they're a miracle noodle because they'll take the flavors that you give them. Again, the secret is you need to heat them on a dry pan until there's no moisture. If you move the noodles around, you want to see no moisture coming from them. You don't want to see a trail of water. You want them dry. Once they are dry, then you season them. Again, I've done them as a lo mein. I've done them as
Italian.
Italian,
Yeah.
Italian with meat, Italian with
Just
vegetables.
vegetables. Hmm.
I mean, there's a lot you can do with it, and it's very filling, and it's uh, like zero net carbs and very low calorie. So broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, Savoy cabbage, and kohlrabi are all basically the same general species.
Right, because they all smell similar.
They all smell similar. Gosh darn it! But they're not all the same. If I have broccoli seeds, I'm not going to get cauliflower. And believe me, I we planted broccoli seeds, so we know what came up. But these are if you're counting carbs, these are foods, broccoli, cauliflower, that are low in net carbs. They're high in fiber. Well, even if you aren't counting carbs, high in fiber means that you will fill up quicker, stay satiated longer, and are less likely to overeat. Uh,
And not to
yeah,
mention that they're whole foods with the proper nutrients that we
yes,
need.
they're also called shirataki noodles.
Yes.
Uh, yep. So they are an amazing low calorie, low carb substitute. Now, again, the secrets to them: rinse, rinse, rinse. If you think you're
Hmm.
done rinsing, rinse them a little bit more. All right, put them in a strainer, and just let them rinse out, and then dry them
Just like you would
on a pan,
rice, how you rinse rice.
but more so
Yeah.
because it has an earthy smell. Some brands almost have like a fishy smell to it.
Mm.
Usually the brands I deal with usually have like an earthy smell, which is fine, but you don't want an earthy smell when you're eating. And by rinsing the water that they were packaged in off of them,
Hmm.
you're getting rid of that smell. But they're very versatile. They truly, truly are. So now, things to have in your freezer as an easy an easy fix. Okay, in my opinion, I always like having peppers and onions frozen in my freezer. I can put them into an omelet if I'm looking to have more vegetables in my omelet. I can put them into a stir fry. They will fit perfectly into if I'm going to be doing uh, a fake fried rice. But not only that, they fit into an Italian meal. They fit into a lot of stuff. It's very versatile. Frozen, pre-cooked chicken. Was it the Good Good? Is that the name of the company?
No, it's
What?
called. Um, sorry, it's called. I think it's called Real Good.
Real Good. I think you're right. Real Good. Real Good uh, chicken. It's going to be
It's
pre-cooked.
organic.
It's organic chicken. You'll get chicken nuggets or chicken tenders. They are breaded. They are not breaded in your standard flour
Breadcrumbs
or
or
flour,
seasoned breadcrumbs or whatever.
wheat flour. So It's a low carb breading. So if you're watching
It
carbs,
might be like a bean.
I'm not even sure.
Is it like I think it's chickpea.
I think you're right. I think it
It's
is
a
chickpea.
chickpea sort of meal that they make, and
Very,
they
they're very good. The chicken
cook them
is
in that.
it stays very moist. Now, what I do a lot of times with the real good chicken tenders or chicken nuggets is I will put them in our salads.
Yes, and
So,
those come out so
like
nice.
we were growing our own lettuce, our lettuce is pretty much kaput. I might be able to harvest one meal out of it. And then I'm going to probably have to replant by seed and see if anything comes up before the season's over. But when it comes to like if you're making a salad, adding a protein, a nice basically what is a fried chicken is delicious, and I just put that in our little oven and heats up. But also, um, I think we have it from Purdue. We have pre-cooked Purdue grilled chicken strips,
Right.
and that is also really good depending on what kind of meals you are looking to make because it's pre-cooked. Now, the problem with the pre-cooked with the Purdue is going to be higher in sodium. You know that. So if you're really dead set on low sodium, not a good option. But it's good for salads, and it's also very good if you want to put it into an Italian dish with the pasta.
Versatile.
It's very versatile.
They're the basic building blocks.
Yeah, that's what I try to keep in our freezer is, and replace the basic building blocks once you get it. Because part of the problem is I don't plan in advance like my mother does. Like what she's making every night for the week is planned out in advance.
Oh,
I don't do
really?
that. I'm lucky if I know what I'm making for the next meal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rach tells me she wants pancakes. I make pancakes. We have Pam's pancakes mix. Again, I'm not endorsing any of these companies. We don't get a kickback. I'm not an affiliate. But we've tried a lot
These
of
are things that we've found that have been hits for us.
right. So, by the way, Mr. Gunn, if you are the bartender in the OSR, is Rach the manager, aka the boss? You'd have to ask Glenn. Glenn wrote that up as a venture for North Texas. Um, but oh god, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my
You were
god.
talking about the building blocks of the things and how.
Oh, pancakes.
Yeah. Okay.
We've tried a number of different low carb pancake mixes, and some are better than others. Some are gritty.
Like
Some
the almond flour ones tend to sometimes be gritty depending on the company.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Pam's pancakes. If you're looking for a low carb option, and there's a lot of low carb sugar free syrups out there, not gonna. We just use whatever we wind up getting. But Pam's pancakes, they don't get thick. They're going to be a thinner pancake.
Right. They're not a fluffy pancake. They're like.
Although I could try a little baking powder in them and see if that makes any difference. I tried it one day. So what I do when I make Pam's pancakes, I have a big tub of it because it's pretty damn good. Is that I will make. They give you, they tell you how to make like a serving or whatever. I make 6 servings at once, so that way we have a serving for me and a serving for H, and then I got 2 more meals. And if I know I'm going to use them quickly, I put them in the fridge. If I think I can hold on to them, I put them into the freezer. So now, I got a breakfast and I don't really feel like cooking, and I don't feel like cereal. And there's low carb cereals, but all right, let's just break out the pancakes, nuke them, take some sausage and put it on a pan, heat up the sausage real quick, and we are good to go. So some of this requires planning out in advance, and if you can, my suggestion is going to be when it comes to a meal, especially if you're cooking just for yourself or for you and your spouse, double what you need. Double what you need.
So you have a backup.
So you can pack it away for the next day, and you got something ready to go.
Right, and like of course, like don't put them all on your plate. Just separate them into the proper portions that they are before you get started. Like after you cook it and before you get serving.
Right.
So that this way you're not tempted to. Oh, I could just have a little two more.
So Don wants to know: have we ever thought of homemade pancakes where you can control it with flour type, etc.? Um, to find that balance that you're going to need between an almond flour or not flour and coconut flour, because
Right, what's gonna keep it either
moist.
moist or more airy or
Pam's
yeah.
is the best of the pre-mixes that I've tried. Now, going into the area of semi-homemade, all right, we
Right.
have Carb Quick. Carb Quick is a generalized flour for pretty much any kind of baking needs
Yeah, it's like a Bisquick
of the low
low
carb
carb
world.
world. Yeah.
And with that, we have
We'll do biscuits, pancakes,
waffles. We have the stuff.
waffles.
We have a stuffed waffle maker. Now, again, with the waffle maker, if I'm going to make waffles, and it's the stuffed ones, not the mini waffles, I'm going to make enough for 2 days. Whatever I'm making. I've made stuffed waffles that were kind of like calzones, really, with the inside filled with
Pizza cheese and sauce and
sausage.
pepperoni.
Yeah, and that's
and then
fun.
we've done with berries. We put just berries in it, and then if we have left over, we cook it. We toast it up again in the Ninja Foodie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find.
Oh, what's that?
You're going to ask me about Pam's pancakes. I'm just going to try to find the link.
Ah, here we go. And you can get 15% off your first order.
And other stuff is on sale too. So here,
Uh-oh.
I mean, again,
No.
we must have tried. We tried Birch Benders. We tried a lot of different brands, especially when back in 2020.
Yeah.
And when we stumbled across
Pam's
Pam's pancakes, pancakes.
Hmm.
All right, but when we found Pam's pancakes, I was like, and they have a red velvet version. They'll make.
Yeah, we've had the red velvet.
And we had the
I
chocolate
don't know
chip.
where. I think we had. Yeah, we had chocolate chip at one point.
Yeah,
I think we have white chocolate chip somewhere.
I think we sent the red velvet home with Shannon. She enjoyed
Yes.
it. She enjoyed
Yeah,
it
we
a
sent
lot.
that home with Shannon, but I don't know. I'll have to look on the shelf and see if we still
You
have
gotta
the
see what else we
white
have.
chocolate chip because I can't wait for that.
She's like, I want my white
I've been
chocolate
waiting
chip.
a year.
I want my white chocolate chip. God damn it! So, part of eating healthy is thinking out of the box, eating out of the box. Not you've got to plan ahead. And sometimes even that planning ahead means, what are we going to do for snacks? At night I cut up a little cheese for Rach and I always buy the thin cut Swiss cheese uh, because the thin cut deli slice Swiss cheese means that it feels like you're eating more when you're eating less. You know, with that, a little bit of cheddar. We both get basically a half serving of cheddar and a half serving of Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really go wrong with that. Yeah, they have a lot of flavors. They got a really good assortment. And they're the only person who complained about them was my son, only because he knew I only eat low carb.
Right, he knew it was something different and he refused to eat it.
Yes.
And I don't think he even tried it.
No. It's like, yeah. I shouldn't have told. I just told. No, dude, I got them from McDonald's, dude. I got them from McDonald's. Also, the Pam's pancakes cook fast because they cook thin. They cook fast, so you got to pay attention when you're cooking them. If you're one of those people like me, when I used to make my pancakes, and wait for all the bubbles to start forming, you're gonna have a well done pancake.
Oh, okay.
Because those bubbles start forming like right away, and you're like, what? I just wait like a minute and I flip it. As long as it doesn't all drunk go running off the edge, it's probably a good deal. But and that's something else too. You have to change things up. Listen, am I going to say that like Rach and I might not do our triple cheeseburger from McDonald's once or twice a month now? as opposed to doing it once a week like we were doing before.
Yeah.
We'll probably still do it. I enjoy it. It's a great deal at my local McDonald's. Um, yeah, not with my son. My son, he'll come and stay. He'll be like, yeah, I want 5 eggs. I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. No, I'm not gonna give you half a carton of eggs.
No.
That ain't the way it works, kid. And then I'm gonna watch you throw half of them out. Yeah, no, no. He literally weighs half my weight. Literally. So he's not a big guy like his old man. What else? Trying to think here. Um, Seasonings. You can't have enough. Which, by the way, one thing I forgot to look for today was hot sauce. But I'm running out my hot sauce. But
I see
yeah, but
the one there.
you need a good assortment of seasonings. Good assortment of seasonings will make almost anything taste good. And when we were doing home chef, another prepared meal, but you prepared it yourself, the first thing I noticed with these prepared meals that you were cooking was the high sodium content. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, which was coming from their seasoning packet.
It's coming from their seasoning packet.
Yeah.
So what I would do, I would open up their seasoning packet, smell it. I get like they test cocaine in the movies, right?
But just this doesn't make your lip go numb.
No. And then I would duplicate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get within spitting distance, if not perfectly duplicate what they had without fail, and without the sodium.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that for about a year. So I have a good recipe selection, which I've used on holidays to have meals prepared for the family, for us, because once you've made something, once you've done it, it's not intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
I think the worst part of the kitchen is it's an intimidation factor. And I mean, I make breakfast probably 5 days out of 7. Other days we might do the Jimmy Dean delights with the bread-free delights, which are low carb. But I generally cook breakfast, and I'm generally cooking one or two of the other meals, sometimes both. Or Rach is kicking in, and she made that beautiful salad. It saves money in the long run, especially if you're pulling stuff out of your garden. But you know what you're putting in your body. When you know what you're putting in your body, it's a healthier diet by far. Listen, I'm not a huge hot sauce snob. I like Texas Pete. It's generally my favorite, but I'll go for other ones. I think this was Crystal.
You sure we don't have any more in the closet?
On a top shelf? I'd have to look in a top shelf.
Oh, yeah. I should probably clear that out too to make sure it's no expired stuff.
Yeah. But yes, Don, spice cabinet, that is it. That is the secret to any kitchen. You could tell me, oh, listen, I'm sorry, we don't have any chicken. But I do have 2 boneless pork chops. I'll make it work, and I will spice it, and I would get my son thinking he's eating chicken. Trust me. But I need those spices. Without spices, you don't have anything. All right. Well, we could do a hot sauce show one day, but not tonight. Not tonight, gentlemen. Not tonight. Currently between houses, so my seasoning cabinet is bare. All right, done. I understand that. Yeah, I know. Texas Pete is made in North Carolina.
Is that your favorite one, huh?
Yeah, only because I got
Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana is good too, but Texas Pete is what I got used to.
Down by work. Okay.
And they would because they changed from Texas Pete to some Chinese brand hot sauce.
Oh yeah, that's sriracha.
But they knew me at the counter.
With the green
and it's
white label.
I have a stash for you. So they always gave me the right hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thank God. Oh yeah, I saw that. There's a lawsuit going on because
Oh yes,
the Texas Pete's not really from Texas.
yeah.
All right. I don't know what to tell you. New York bagels aren't always from New York either.
Oh yeah, I thought Frank's Red Hot that was from Buffalo. No,
What's up?
Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, I'm not even sure. Probably. I think that's where it started from.
I think that's a New York one.
All right. Don, if you could only have 4 spices to ever use again, what would they be?
Cumin,
Garlic powder.
garlic, the onion.
See, I see. Does that include spice mixes?
Yeah, like Italian seasonings.
Yeah, Italian seasonings. So that because that covers so much. And you know what? For my 4th would probably be, I think the Fiesta seasoning.
Yeah, like some cumin based kind of.
You know, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna put something else out. Like today, we didn't have any in our pantry for a while. We picked up some salsa. Salsa can spike up any food. You want to, if you want to, think, oh, I don't have a dip and I'm trying to eat healthy and I'm trying to eat carrots. You know what? Dip it into salsa. You want to flavor up your breakfast and it's egg based.
Oh, that's great with those.
Oh my
burritos.
God! Yeah. So.
Or just in an omelet itself.
Yeah, which we've
like
done
we
that.
Used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not counting the weed there, Mr. Gunn. We're not counting that kind of herb.
The herbs.
Oh,
I would say oregano, basil.
Oh yeah, fresh pepper. Fresh pepper. Not you got to be.
Yeah. Oh, but that's a spice, no?
Well, yeah, I guess herb spice. Yeah, I treat my herbs and spices interchangeably.
Because I'm thinking more the fresh, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? Fresh is actually is a rarity. I mean, we have some fresh, but we're not going to have fresh in the wintertime. So, by the way, we will have some. We will have fresh basil throughout the year. And the secret to having fresh basil throughout the year is you pick your basil when it's fresh, you put it into ice cube trays, and you push it to the bottom of the tray, and then you fill the tray with water, and then you freeze it.
And then you can dry the oregano.
But then it's not. Then it's not fresh.
Hmm.
If you want fresh, if you want to be able to put a fresh leaf of oregano or basil onto your pizza, the way you do it is you're going to have to freeze it in ice, and then you melt the ice cube. If Frank doesn't make Frank red hot, listen. Now we're going to get into Aunt Jemima. Oh, we can't get into Aunt Jemima. She no longer exists.
No, sir.
Sorry.
It's somebody's milling company.
Make your own salsa fresh, all right. So tonight or tomorrow, Rach, we have all those avocados that we were given. I gotta make some guac.
She gave that a while ago. Is that still gonna be good?
I gotta open them up and look.
All right. Yeah, we can do guac.
I mean,
we have the mocha.
I mean, you know that they spend like weeks, if not months, in
oh, that's true.
transit.
Let's see what we see. We'll smell what we smell. You know.
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, because we have the mocha underneath the by the pots and pans.
The what?
The mocha
the water and pesto.
That, yeah. Well, that's how I learned about one first.
Elle does not like basil. I like basil. I like basil, but you gotta use it the right way. You just don't like.
Oh, I love it. My niece used to eat it just like she'd pick the leaf and.
Mr. Gunn, my best salsa was made by baking the veggies.
Oh.
I love guac. I really do, and I will say I was surprised Chipotle makes very good guac.
Yeah, that was really good.
I gotta say.
Nice and fresh.
If you're gonna put basil on pizza, it's gotta be fresh. If it's dry,
it
ain't happening. It ain't happening in my house. Not in my house, I tell you.
Yes, sir.
I think we've hit the witching hour. We've been on for an hour.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
Mm-mm.
Hey, maybe the Dungeon Hobby Shop will start like a cooking channel and talk about the stuff that we've talked about here.
Maybe they'll replicate our recipes.
All right, so Mr. Gunn, I do like your I guess your guac recipe.
Mm.
Red onion, avocados, lime juice, jalapeno, cilantro,
I love cilantro too.
sale,
God.
sale, not even, and pepper. Cilantro, sale, and pepper.
So,
Oh, salt.
so. Mhm.
I don't. I don't want to
So.
speak any Spanish. I don't speak spinach either. God, folks, thank you very much for hanging with us. If you were nearby, I would send you home with pickles. They are damn good. Um, as usual, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. Don't talk with your mouth full of pickle.
Just take good care.
What she said. All right, folks.
And thank you.
And yes, Rach, you were right. Salt. So, what do I know? I'm a Blanco. I'm a Blanquito. So I've been told. All right. Laters.